It is the About Mansfield Economic Spotlight. I'm your host, Steve Casillo, and what do we do here? We spotlight people and their business who make an economic impact on the city of Mansfield. Could be big business, could be small business, could be sole proprietor, could be a company of one, which is what we're going to focus on today. Doesn't matter. They make an economic impact on the city of Mansfield. We want to thank the Mansfield Economic Development Corporation for sponsoring this series, which is why it's called the Economic Spotlight. And today we focus right over here to my left, Ron McCranie. He is the founder, the owner of Oaken Digital, O-A-K-E-N, Oaken Digital. First of all, Ron McCranie, welcome to the Economic Spotlight.
Thank you.
Oaken Digital. First, let's start with the business name. How'd you come up with that? Did you like wood?
No. So actually, anytime a tech company comes up with a name, it's got to be something unique and memorable.
Yeah.
And you want a short URL as well. And so the shorter the URL, the better. And I was like, what could it be? And I was like, what are some things I like? And Lord of the Rings is one of the things I like. Specifically The Hobbit. And Thorin Oakenshield is one of the main characters. And I'm like, yeah, but Oakenshield's a little too on the nose, so let's just do Oaken.
Oaken Digital.
Yep.
Explain to the audience what you do.
So I would say full service digital agency.
Okay.
What does that mean, right?
That was huge. Let's narrow that down to, what does that mean?
Okay. So I guess most people would know that as websites, digital marketing, social media management, that sort of stuff. But we go a little bit deeper than that. And what sets us apart are kind of digging into more customized websites and applications for businesses.
You just did that with one of the websites that we're affiliated with, the Mansfield Business Alliance, and you built the member portal. Explain how you also do that then to small, medium-sized businesses.
Sure.
Yep.
So what we do is we take all this experience we've gained, and by we, I mean me and the people that I contract with. I have a handful of people that I've worked with for a while and that I know what their skill sets are and what they can accomplish. So what we do is we understand what the immediate needs of a business are and their timeline, their budget, and all that stuff. And then we work on, okay, how can we actually launch something quickly to give you what we call an MVP, the most viable product?
Yeah.
And then we get that out day one, and then we continually integrate on top of that. So that's kind of how that process goes. And that's what we did with the Mansfield Business Alliance. We needed something to launch quick. And so we said, all right, what's the minimum we need? We need member signups and be able to approve members and send emails back and forth saying, hey, there's a new application that came in, or hey, your application's been approved. And then since then, we've added on billing integration and things like that. And it'll just keep going.
Talk about your background. How'd you get started? Why websites? Why digital marketing? Your background.
So rewind to career 1.0. I was in finance and home building. Yeah. And 2008 came around, and that was not a great year for the home building market. So I started exploring some other options to get into another industry. And I had been tasked with creating that company's website and handling all things digital and technology. And so I found myself fascinated with how code could be written and then appear on a screen, and you have this magical, beautiful display that people can use. And
did you start back in the day of HTML and
oh yeah,
and
old
then,
school PHP, and
cascading style sheets?
Oh yeah,
and
yeah. So probably around 2005, 2006.
Oh, okay.
I just did it as a hobby because I saw the person that we had contracted to do our website at the time, and he was showing me some stuff, and I was like, wow, that's interesting. And so I just started doing it as a hobby, and then next thing I know, I turned it into a career a few years later. So
talk about, because as a sole proprietor, as a company of one, starting a business really on a shoestring, talk about budgetary issues, and have you encountered any, oh God, I wish I had the money to do this? Talk about roadblocks.
Yeah, I would say just like any business, when you're first starting out, you have to learn to be the jack of all trades. because you can't afford to pay someone to fix this or to do this or to set this up for you. And so that's really helped me to expand my knowledge to be able to do all the things that are related to what I typically offer as a service, because the past 12 years I've been working in Fortune 500 companies on $1 million budgets. And it's like, okay, I have a team that does this and I have a team that does that. And so I knew at a high level all the things, but as far as which switches to flip and knobs to turn, that's the part I had to, spend a little bit more time on and maybe refresh my memory on stuff I haven't done in a decade. So
You had to reinvent yourself.
yeah. And it's great because it's a learning experience and it helps you grow. And that's kind of my philosophy, is always learning, always growing. So
That's actually how this studio was developed, that I was in a similar industry, and in the radio industry. My background is radio, but I needed to reinvent myself. And we're here 4 years later doing this. And you're right, the jack of all trades as a single operator. And I was just giving a speech this morning to a group of business people. And I said, I'm a news anchor. I'm a talk show host. I'm an audio technician. I'm a marketing person. I'm the webmaster. I am and went down the entire list of everything you do. And that's no different than what you do.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just different labels, right? So I'm the database administrator. I'm the project manager. I'm the user experience architect. All of the things that normally go on in like an enterprise grade digital organization, I'm kind of having to take on all those roles.
Let's talk about, because digital, are you using AI in your...
I thought this might come up.
Yeah.
So I was actually on the drive over here. I'm like, all right, how far down that rabbit hole are we going to go?
About that far.
Yeah, about that far. Yeah. So like most businesses, especially a business like mine in digital, we have to understand what's out there. We have to understand how we could utilize it for our customers. I'd say the biggest thing with AI at the moment is that there are a lot of people out there trying to play in that field and calling things AI that aren't AI.
Right.
Because AI, machine learning, there's different ways you can label it. It's been around for a while. ChatGPT was the one that just kind of made everybody, oh, hey, this is a thing.
Right.
So I would say that, yeah, I use it. The people I work with use it. It's great. It's really good when you're trying to debug code. It's really good when you're trying to come up with new ideas for things. So, a lot of times whenever you're trying to solve a problem and you feel like you're stuck, having someone else to talk to, that understands what you work in, is really beneficial. But if you don't have that person, then ChatGPT kind of jumps in and kind of helps you out.
Go to the computer.
Yeah.
And talk about, again, Oaken Digital, some of the other recent projects that you're doing, and then we'll close out with your contact information.
Sure. So right now we just took on a big project. We're brought on to help fill out a team that's building a mobile app for a large healthcare company, which I can't disclose any names, but so that's mobile app development.
A mobile app being an app on your phone.
Yeah. iPhone app, Android app.
Okay.
And so we have a team of developers that I've worked with on other projects. And so we came on board to help supplement the developers that already exist at this corporation. Because anytime you're coming up with something new, you have a team that needs to maintain what you already have, but you need to bring on some people to help build what's new and what's next. So we're helping with a mobile app there. And then just some ongoing projects, social media management, updates to other websites. I have one website that they just reached out to me. First website I ever built 10 years ago when I started doing this on my own. And they've probably had me update their website. And we're talking about like a full refresh.
Yeah.
New technology, not just, hey, go update something. Probably 5 times in the past 10 years. So we just keep adding more stuff onto it. Delivery calculators, things like that. So, ongoing projects.
Websites, mobile apps, digital marketing, social media, Oaken Digital. If someone wanted to reach out to Ron McCranie, how do they get a hold of you?
The best way is oakendigital.com. You can do the www or not. Doesn't matter.
Right.
It'll redirect you. And then there's a contact page on there. Just fill that out. It'll shoot an email straight to my inbox. And I also have a phone number on there as well, but that's the easiest, oakendigital.com.
Oaken Digital. Again, that's OAKEN, oakendigital.com. This is Ron McCranie, founder and owner of Oaken Digital. That is the About Mansfield Economic Spotlight. Thanks for making an economic impact on the city of Mansfield.
Appreciate it.
One business person at a time. We want to thank again Mansfield Economic Development Corporation for sponsoring the series. We'll catch you again real soon.